Hello guys and welcome back to another Critical Meds Cast of Path to Glory 2v2 tournament hosted by Bronzepanic. This is Series 3 and it's AOD and Brownpuddle versus Criticalmeds and Bruzer. I'm going to try and cast this with myself being in the game. It might prove difficult, but we'll get on with it. So, let's see these games. And here it is guys, game 1 of Series 3. We have Bruzer in red, Criticalmeds in teal, AOD Gaming in yellow, and Brownpuddle in orange. This is Zodiac, we've seen it already. Obviously it does turn into a couple of 1v1s, but hopefully we won't see that. We'll see a bit of teamwork in this one. Let's see how it goes. Everyone's opting for an MCV move, which is quite smart. You do want to get yourself in between these three tips, as I have said before. Brownpuddle opting to deploy earlier and go for more of a crawl. Obviously that does suit if you want to build earlier infantry. As you can see, he's got a Rex by the time Criticalmeds has deployed his MCV. Same with AOD. He has got that barracks out, and he has got his scouts out a lot faster than Bruzer. We do see this is a Nod versus GDI situation. AOD and Brownpuddle both Nod versus Criticalmeds and Bruzer's GDI. We do see the first refs coming up now from each player. AOD and Brownpuddle opting for the safer ref first. See a little skirmish of the scouts going down. Bruzer opting for more of an anti-scout, making sure he does not get scouted by AOD. We do see quite a lot of infantry pushing across from Criticalmeds. Just looks to be getting rid of a lot of these flamers, so the Nod doesn't have too much defences. Hopefully make him spend more on flamers, and it can delay the strip. All players on free ref now, which is looking good. Bruzer opting for his 4th ref. So is Brownpuddle. Criticalmeds getting the scouting with that Gren there. Looks like AOD's not wanting to push into all these Grens. Bruzer's in a nice defensive situation there. Microing very well in the middle, making sure he gets a couple of those Grens there. As you can see, Brownpuddle is forced to build flamers now. There is a lot of Grens coming from Criticalmeds still. Trying to chip away at them flamers, force him to build more and spend his money. But he has gone 4 ref before a strip, which you won't normally see with a Nod. 5 ref before strip. Very interesting. AOD with a standard 3 ref strip. Bruzer still on 4 ref, so probably building a war factory right now. Criticalmeds on the 5 ref infantry production, same as Brownpuddle. He is getting a few Rexes now. This could spell trouble. There's going to be a few infantry running across that south side. That's a lot of Grens. That's 20 to 30 Grens. He hasn't got many flamers at the minute. He does need to build more flamers. We do see the buggy harass from AOD getting up in Bruzer's face nice and early. Trying to chip away at his harvester or Gren count. Criticalmeds slowly pushing him with his Grens now. Still forcing the flamers. He does not have a strip, so there's no buggy support for now. AOD trying to get the snipe on the ref. I don't feel it's worth it. He's going to lose a lot of units here. Criticalmeds pushing. He's got a ref snipe, but Brownpuddle's got the airstrip just in time. Do feel like we need to see some buggies. And artillery is a good choice as well, but they can be a bit derpy at times. Oh, what a shot. You can see Bruzer has opted for the 2 War Factory style 4 ref, which does normally mean an all-in. We might see him sell the MCV in a minute. There he goes. AOD now on 4 ref strip still. Still trying to get up in Brownpuddle's face. We might see a dive from AOD onto Criticalmeds here. We do. Looks like the backs are coming in. Bruzer's pushing forward. He sees the dive on Criticalmeds. He's decided to push forward with those tanks. He is going for the war factory. He's trying to stop Criticalmeds from building tanks. He is going to get it. Criticalmeds didn't get the cell either. That's really bad. He has got the artillery coming up front as well, which is going to spell trouble for those infantry. Bruzer pushing hard with his tanks and Grens now. He knows he's got a advantage in this top. These bikes are coming in for the dive. He is going to try and get Bruzer's war factories. It looks like he's going to get this one. There isn't enough tanks to really repel the bikes for now. Criticalmeds under a lot of pressure with his artillery in his face. He does only have one tank. He's built an orchid to counter the artillery, which is very interesting. They do kill artillery really fast. Bruzer down now to just one war factory and one barracks. And bikes are very damaged, but he has got a lot of value out of them. Criticalmeds trying to get another ref snipe. You see Brownpuddle with a counter dive of buggies as well. Bruzer trying to push two angles at the same time, which is good, especially with a good grain count. That's a lot of flamers. That's the unfortunate thing with flamers stacking on top of each other. They do like to blow up together. Bruzer really pushing this hand and nod now. AOD not really having any anti-infantry. He is going to struggle against these Grens. He will have to snipe the tanks and then hopefully get some flamers or buggies to deal with his grenadiers. But he does need to keep these bikes alive. They are really, really important. Criticalmeds still holding on against Brownpuddle at the bottom here. There's a lot of flamers. He does have one tank for now. He can't do much with it. Brownpuddle coming to gank Bruzer with AOD. AOD did get the second war factory of those bikes, which is massive. Bruzer can't build any mechanical units now. He's going to have to go all infantry. He does have a nice unit push inside AOD's base, which did force an MCV cell. He doesn't want to be losing these bikes. He's taking nice fights. He's killing off the tanks that he needs to. These buggies causing a little bit of havoc on that ref as well. Criticalmeds still trying to stay up in Brownpuddle's face, trying to make him crumble. We do see Bruzer opting to attack Brownpuddle's harvester at the top here, where I think he should really go for the bikes. Nice little turret out there for Brownpuddle. And he has done the job. It has got rid of that tank. We do see a couple more tanks rolling in now with some grenadiers. There is a lot of grenadiers. I can imagine the kill count's very high for the non-players right now. See Criticalmeds on 80, Bruzer on 60, AOD on 70, and Brownpuddle with the most, 100. It's not surprising how fast these grenadiers are dying to these flamers. You just need to be careful with these grenadiers against these flamers. We don't want that to happen too many times. As you can see, AOD's still trying to keep hold of these bikes. They are doing a lot of damage. Brownpuddle also going for the gank on this ref. He's going to get it. It's very low eco now for AOD. He is only on 2 ref. Bruzer's still trying to keep that free rest so he can pump out grenadiers. We can see Criticalmeds has pushed through the south. He has got on top of that strip. And he's going to get the strip as well. And a ref. Looks like Brownpuddle's in a lot of trouble. He doesn't really have anything to deal with these tanks. He can build flamers still against these grenadiers, but the tanks are an issue. Looks like Bruzer's holding on for dear life with these grenadiers and infantry. It looks like AOD and Brownpuddle are coming to get rid of Criticalmeds tanks, because that's the issue at the minute. That's one thing Brownpuddle can't deal with. Med's trying to keep those tanks alive with the grenadiers. Obviously, bikes are very squishy and die to grenadiers really fast. You don't want them at AFK in front of Grens, that's for sure. You want to keep them moving. Oh, it looks like Bruzer and Criticalmeds are going for a big attack on Brownpuddle here. They did force the MCV cell. He hasn't got much left. He's only got a barracks. And AOD's down to 2 ref, one strip. Building artillery, because obviously Bruzer does only have infantry. Criticalmeds using his Orca to help Bruzer here. Looks like Brownpuddle has succumbed to the aggression. We do see an idle harvester in the middle from Bruzer. Criticalmeds did go all in. He's only on 1 war factory, but I think this spells disaster for AOD and Brownpuddle. There's not much AOD can do against this massive infantry from both players. AOD trying to use one of those spare harvesters to do as much damage as possible to those infantry. And there it comes, both players pushing in now. They want to take him out. There's still a couple of bikes, but not enough. And there's a sell-off. It's GG. So game 1 goes to Criticalmeds and Bruzer. Let's get into game 2. After we look at the scoreboard. So, Criticalmeds with the most eco that match, but he did have the least aggression put onto him, so he did get to do what he wanted. Even kill count with Brownpuddle, which is very interesting. They both did open 5 ref infantry, so it was just a bit of an onslaught from the start. Bruzer, obviously, he lost his... Well, he went for an all-in, so he lost his MCV and then lost the war factories, so quite low eco there. But good kill count, considering. An AOD with the lowest income, which is interesting, because he did have a good build, 4 ref and strip. And unfortunately, the least unit count kills. Right, let's get into game 2. Welcome back, guys. This is game 2 between AOD, Brownpuddle versus Bruzer and Criticalmeds. I think this is the first time we're seeing this map. It's called Hospital Highlands. As you can see, there's multiple hospitals on the map. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can capture these and build off of them, but they do cost power. So you're looking at 500 for an engineer to capture it, and it will lower your power, so you might need an extra power plant if you catch one of those. But it is worth building off of them. Some players will opt to crawl rather than take one of these. You do have to look out for these guard towers in the centre. They will kill scouts moving across. Unfortunately, there's a mechanic on this game where towers will shoot +1 range upwards, so you cannot get infantry through here without dying, but you can get infantry through here because they shoot a longer range upwards, which is unfortunate. Perhaps the guard towers should have probably been 1 down, but who knows. It is a quirky map, so we'll see what happens. Let's get into it. So AOD opting for the insta-deploy in teal. Same as Brownpuddle in yellow, opting for the insta-deploy. We see Bruzer move up between these patches in the orange, and Criticalmeds pushing his MCV through the middle of the map. Looks like he's wanting to do some kind of barracks all in. An early engineer, this could spell absolute disaster for Criticalmeds. I mean, the flamers are out now anyway, it doesn't look too good. We do see Bruzer building the normal scouts. As you can see, these guard towers are going to be an issue for the scouting. Criticalmeds now losing his first power plant. There's a lot of flamers there, I don't think he can do much. Out comes the barracks. See if he's going to fall really fast. AOD's done a good job going double barracks. Wow, Brownpuddle opting to capture this hospital and build a ref straight away, which is very smart. It's a good move. Criticalmeds managed to get 2 barracks out, but he hasn't really got any power to build anything. He's going to die to these flamers by the looks of things. You have to pull miracles to do anything in this game now. Bruzer unfortunately having a poor ref here, very long distance mining. He has gone free ref, but he is getting pushed in the middle here because of this captured hospital. Obviously a very interesting strat. I do like to see this type of stuff on these maps, because I don't think these maps are very well known to the community, so stuff like this is always a surprise. We do see Brownpuddle with the Grens in the south as well. Bruzer doesn't have anything to defend this, so it looks like he's going to lose that ref. He's just focused on this forward aggression. Criticalmeds has no units now, he's only got these 2 barracks. It looks like he's out. Bruzer had to sell that ref. He's having a lot of trouble with these forward barracks pushes. The Grenadiers are now on his MCV. Criticalmeds has lost. It is now a 2v1 situation. Bruzer looking in a bit of trouble. And that's game. So that was a fast one. That was a fast game. Quick GG. Obviously, very interesting map. It's got its quirks. I did like Brownpuddle opting to capture this hospital. Then obviously build the second ref and push barracks into his opponent, which is very smart, honestly. Really good strategy. Probably something other people could copy in later games. And AOD playing pretty kind of standard free ref. Obviously, he only needed so many barracks to push Criticalmeds and kill him that early. So that was game number 2. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. Brownpuddle winning that. Obviously, he had the most kills because he was up in Bruzer's face for a while. AOD with the most eco. He was free ref. Criticalmeds not mining anything because it was a poor MCV deploy and he got beat out by AOD pretty early. Right, on to game 3. Welcome back, guys. This is game 3 of series 3, Criticalmeds and Bruzer versus Brownpuddle and AOD. This is what's it called? Steps of War. It's called Steps of War. We have AOD spawning in the bottom right, Brownpuddle spawning in the teal in the top right, Bruzer spawning in the red in the top left, and Criticalmeds spawning in the yellow in the bottom left. Steps of War, smallest mapping rotation of the pool. You can, in certain positions, opt to get all 4 of these tib, be very aggressive to your opponent. There is a really short rush distance, so we are going to see a lot of barracks play, possibly more all-in play as well. So let's get into it. Criticalmeds moving at the start, everybody else insta-deploying. Opting for a more forward MCV, which is interesting. He's probably trying to get these centre tibs. Everybody on par with their builds. We do see Nod from Bruzer and GDI from Criticalmeds versus 2 GDIs from Brownpuddle and AOD. So we get the scout versus anti-scout game. Here it comes. See if anybody can get a scout in. AOD nearly getting that minigunner in. Is he going to get it? Nope. Sometimes Grens do let you down on that anti-scout, and they will get in. Bruzer investing in more flamers than you would normally get from a Nod. Normally they'd build 4 or 5 just to hold the chokes. But with it being such a small map, you do tend to need to be safe and get more just in case there is a big Grenadier push early game. Criticalmeds trying to get the scout on the MCV of AOD. He has got a lot more Grens for now. Do see the Apache out from Bruzer. That does help clear up the Grenadiers. Brownpuddle opting to buy the Rocket Man. These can counter Apache if they don't get shot at. If they get shot at, that Apache will kill it in one shot. The Rocket Men do cost 300. They move really slow. They're not generally worth it. Smart from Bruzer to opt at killing AOD's Grenadiers so Criticalmeds can take this bunch of Grens in. Not only that, he doesn't have to deal with Brownpuddle's Rocket Men then. AOD reacting really well with a barracks up the top to stop this force coming in. He is counter-attacking it. It looks like he's going straight for Criticalmeds' MCV. Criticalmeds is in a lot of trouble. He hasn't got a lot of Grens to defend this either. That MCV looks like it's going to go down. It barely survives. And we see Brownpuddle pushing into Bruzer's power plant now, which is big because he hasn't got enough power to build out this strip on full power now. And he does need buggies or artillery or something to help him out. We do see 4F from both AOD and Criticalmeds. Criticalmeds opting for the earlier War Factory. He does get the earlier War Factory due to AOD having to invest in that second barracks for defence, unfortunately. As you can see, we just have the little Gren stalemate. Bruzer coming in to help Criticalmeds here because he is outnumbered for Grens. You see 4F from every GDI now. Brownpuddle obviously got his War Factory as well. Bruzer still on 3 ref. Brownpuddle's going to snipe the ref from Criticalmeds. He did get it with a harvester inside. That is very big. He's still trying to push his Grens in, but it will be hard to push through 2 barracks in this formation. He's getting close to that MCV. He really wants to get it. See Bruzer trying to kill these Grens without taking too much damage. He's doing well to bait them into Tiberium. Obviously, Tiberium will affect the Grens over time as they run through it. Criticalmeds opting to push with these tanks, unguarded by Grenadiers. He's trying to get some squishes. Bruzer still only on 3 ref. He has gone for the second strip. This normally is an all-in build. We might see the MCV cell. There it goes. So he is 2 strip 3 ref all-in. Can be very strong on a small map like this, but you need to get damage on it. He's doing well to take down AOD's MCV. He's going to commit to it. He's going to get it. He didn't get the kill, so AOD will get the money from selling that. Brownpuddle with a sneaky attack on Bruzer's airstrip. Criticalmeds trying to get some damage on the War Factory. Bruzer trying to get as much damage done to AOD as possible. He's going to try and dive this War Factory. I see the bikes. No, he's going to go for Brownpuddles instead, which is a smart choice. Brownpuddle does get the cell on that War Factory. He can build another one. He does still have an MCV. AOD just gathering his forces. Criticalmeds with the tank right out the back there. Bruzer going in for another dive on the War Factory. AOD doesn't have an MCV to rebuild this if it goes. He does need to react this. There's a lot of Grens from AOD sat in the middle here. I think he's focused on this snipe. He's going to lose all those Grens to squishies. That's huge. AOD still with probably the bigger army between him and Criticalmeds. Bruzer's trying to hold on against this tank and Gren fight. Brownpuddle trying to get that ref at the top. If he gets that, Bruzer will only be one ref and it will not be enough to supply 2 airstrips. Criticalmeds has sold his MCV now just to stay in this game. He does feel threatened by this attack. Bruzer also trying to hold on. He hasn't got much to deal with the tanks. He has used the bikes for other purposes, like sniping. That Apache's still racking up kills even late into the game. It's doing very well for Bruzer and Criticalmeds. He is helping Criticalmeds quite a lot. We do see a big Gren ball coming in. He's going to go for Criticalmeds' production. He's going to get one of the barracks. He doesn't have an MCV anymore, so he can't rebuild it. I feel like Criticalmeds don't have a lot of army left. Bruzer's got a lot of buggies. He can do a lot with these buggies. We do see Bruzer trying to thin out the Gren herd on both sides, so he's having to micro both sides at the same time. Criticalmeds losing a tank to Grens, that's not very good. You see Brownpuddle trying to dive Criticalmeds again while he's away. He's going to get that power plant. Bruzer now coming in to deal with Brownpuddle's Grenadier force. AOD still trying to push straight into Criticalmeds. We haven't seen a tank come out of this War Factory for quite some time. Oh. We have seen a tank now, but he's going to lose another barracks. If he loses his barracks, he's in big trouble because he's going to lose the majority at the front of his base unless Bruzer can basically defend for him. Brownpuddle getting some more kills on the ref. Bruzer opting to sell the strip to survive. It is getting down to the nitty gritty now. Criticalmeds only with 3 tanks on the map. AOD with plenty of Grens. Both players with plenty of Grens. AOD's decided it's not worth fighting the tank. He might as well just use the mobility of the Grens to get in Criticalmeds' base. Bruzer is coming down to defend him now. Med's still losing tanks to Grenadiers. Bruzer's got a lot of Grens to deal with here. Meds and Bruzer trying to push Brownpuddle now. This can be risky. AOD's got a big Gren force that can go straight into Criticalmeds' base. We do see the match speed up a little bit. I will just take it back a second. So we do see this combined push between Bruzer and Criticalmeds trying to go after Brownpuddle. Brownpuddle does have the better eco out of Bruzer and Brownpuddle. Bruzer's still only on 1 ref. He's going to struggle. It is essentially 4 ref versus 8 ref right now. So the longer this game goes on, the worse it's going to become for Criticalmeds and Bruzer. We do see Bruzer opting for that heavy artillery use, which is very interesting. Both opponents do only have infantry, so these artillery can come in clutch. They are doing splash damage to his own buggies right now. AOD with a big Gren ball trying to push into Criticalmeds' base. Bruzer is there to help defend. Brownpuddle's going for the back attack. Probably going to try and get a power plant or a harvester. But them artillery should defend. Bruzer opted to bring some of the artillery down and sit them next to Criticalmeds' only production barracks. Which is very smart. Yeah. We do see that artillery racking up some kills. That is coming in very clutch. Bruzer trying to be as active as possible with these buggies. AOD is getting some good shots, but the artillery are just a bit too strong in that position. We do see an idle harvester. That's very common in this game. We do see the south side mining out now for AOD. Still plenty of Tiberium up the top right for Brownpuddle. And he has got this tib up the top middle contested. He's going for a push against these artillery. Very well spread out Grens. That's how you want to keep them. Not let them clump up again like that, unfortunately. AOD coming in with another push. He's not too keen on pushing his artillery at the minute. It does feel like a 2v1 at the minute. Bruzer is holding on very well. Criticalmeds doesn't really have any influence on the map at the minute. Only a few Grens. Bruzer now coming into a dive on the production of AOD. He needs to be careful not to lose too many of these buggies to grenadier fire. These artillery are doing some work as well. He doesn't finish off the production building and does lose a couple of buggies. It can't be too good for him right now. Every unit counts at this point in the game. It's getting very close. Med's opting to send a few Grens out, but not finding much joy about that. The Apache's still racking up kills. He has opted for a second Apache. It does require a lot more micro, but I'm sure Bruzer's up to the standards of using 2 Apache micro. Do see the Grenadiers trying to push forward so the artillery aren't weak. If they do jump on these artillery, they do die quite fast, so it is risky. See Brownpuddle still going for the dives with the Grenadiers. He does need to get in there. He can't really fight the buggies and artillery 1-for-1. Looks like it's becoming a bit of a stalemate. Do see AOD and Brownpuddle still have a lot more economy than Criticalmeds and Bruzer. He is losing these artillery. AOD did use the harvester to mess with the AI of the artillery, and he is now getting the kills with the Grenadiers. Very smart move. A lot of people that do play CNC competitively will know that harvesters do draw the fire of artillery naturally, and you can run them through. The artillery will try and fire at the harvesters, and then you can send the infantry in to finish off the artillery. Meds and critical, Bruzer and Criticalmeds are still holding on for dear life. They are essentially 3 ref versus 8 ref right now. The Apaches are farming value. We do still see little skirmishes between the Grens in the south. It is very gridlocked. I do feel this is really hard for AOD and Brownpuddle to push in here, especially with the artillery sat in positions. They're really hard to get to with infantry. Bruzer's still going in on these Grens. He does want to thin the herd off and keep these buggies alive. He's doing well. He's taking a bit of damage from the Grenadiers though in the process, but not too much. He's making it very worthwhile. Brownpuddle is building infantry right in the face of these buggies. It can work if they're not firing directly at the infantry, like now. Criticalmeds is slowly getting into AOD's base, but AOD was trying to help Brownpuddle for the most of it. We did see the engineer go towards a strip of Bruzer. Looks like Bruzer's out of cash. Criticalmeds is trying to use that cash through the strip. Brownpuddle on 8k, but not able to spend it. AOD struggling now because he has mined out. You see the engineer getting the power as well, so he can build out of that strip at a faster speed. Light tanks will help at the minute because there is only infantry on the field. Looks like they're going to sell up. This is GG. And that was it. Criticalmeds and Bruzer take game number 3, and it is 2-1. Let me update the scores, I forgot about that. So it's 2-1 to Bruzer and Criticalmeds. I'll just quickly update that. Noobcaster. There we go. Ready for game number 4. We will look at the scoreboard quickly.
Battle control terminated.
As you can see, just by the kill count alone, that was a majority of infantry play all game. Brownpuddle with the most economy, but the least killed. So he got into fights against Bruzer where it was infantry versus anti-infantry vehicles. So there isn't much more he could have done in them type of situations. Obviously keeping the War Factory alive would have helped him late game. But Bruzer was on top of the snipes pretty much all the game. Criticalmeds didn't see much action. He did attack AOD quite a few times with the assistance of Bruzer. That got him into the late game. But Bruzer with the 275 kills, pretty much farming all those GDI infantry, pretty much uncontested. So yeah, off into game 4, guys. Let's see what happens. Welcome, guys, to game 4. AOD Gaming and Brownpuddle versus Bruzer and Criticalmeds. We see AOD Surfs Up map. We've seen this one a few times. It is a good map. High eco, and then obviously the contention points bottom and top. We have seen some mid crawls. Not often we see that, even in 1v1s, but it is interesting. 2v2 should open up the avenue for stuff like that. So, Brownpuddle in red in the top right. Bottom right is AOD in yellow. Bottom left is Bruzer in teal. And top left is Criticalmeds in orange. Let's get on with it.
New construction options. Building.
Do you see insta deploy from every player but Brownpuddle? Almost a mirrored crawl from AOD and Criticalmeds. Looks like they're going to try and get all these tip patches without too much building crawls time. Bruzer's only going to be able to get 2 ref on this back spot, which isn't too good in this position because this is a lot of Tiberium you can mine. You can get 3 to 4 ref on this position. It can be very strong. Everybody's on 2 ref now. AOD getting a scout on Bruzer. That Flamer is going to clear it up, but not before he sees the MCV. Bit of a grand stalemate as we normally see between 2 GDIs. Patchy's out now, getting the kills on the Grenadiers, opening up paths that wouldn't normally be cleared by another GDI. He's took out all the centre anti-scout. Criticalmeds can run through now. AOD opting for the 4F. We do only still see 2 ref from Bruzer. All GDIs are on 4F right now. Greedy GDIs. MCV is getting attacked. It is going to go down. Will he get the cell? No, not. Unfortunately not. He's not going to get the money from the MCV cell. And he is going to be stuck on 1 barracks for the rest of the game. Unless he can get this engineer somewhere. Bruzer's airstrip now coming up. AOD opting for Orcas. Let's see what vision he's got. Yes, sir. AOD does like to do these Orca strats. He has seen the MCV and strip, so it is going to work very well. He does only need 4 or 5 Orcas to then go and attack the MCV strip. He can wait till 6 or 7 and one-shot the MCV strip. He's going all in, so he's going all in, so he has the MCV money to build the extra Orcas he needs. This is very smart. We'll see how it goes. Bruzer's in a bit of trouble. That is going to take a lot of damage. The Orcas are going to do enough. Is it going to die? Really doesn't want to lose his strip. And it goes down. AOD with a strip snipe early. The only problem with this type of Orca building 2v2s is you lock yourself out of other tech. You're very reliant on Grenadier and aircraft for the rest of the game. You're not going to be able to get any tanks. Criticalmeds has opted for the 4F 1 War Factory. Bruzer now coming in to get a few kills on these Grens in Brownpuddle's base. He did get the Orcus on the MCV. Bruzer's had to sell MCV and he's in a lot of trouble now. He's only on infantry tech. He does still have these buggies left. What's he going to do? Looks like he's going to go for a dive. He's trying to find those Orcas. He's going to try and get some damage on the Orcas, but the Orcas can defend themselves quite well against buggies. It's very hard to micro Orcas like this, so he's doing very well. Grenadier's there for added support. Do see a little attack ball from AOD. Brownpuddle going for a nice Gren push now on Criticalmeds in the north. Meds does has the second War Factory. It is an all-in build, that's a 2 War Factory all-in. So, Criticalmeds doesn't want these getting scouted now because of the Orcas on the map. Orcas will shred up War Factories. He's got a lot of defensive Grens. I'd like to see him attack with these right now. Look how many rocket men there is for Bruzer here. That's actually glorious. He can't really do anything with all these rocket men being here. Apache are quite good against rocket men, but Orcas are definitely not good. We do see a lot of tanks from Criticalmeds. It does look like he's streamlining across the map to try and get AOD. Which is interesting, because these tanks could be used to kill Brownpuddle, but I think the Orcas would get too much damage on the tanks if he did go for Brownpuddle. He needs to make these tanks work now, while AOD doesn't really have the answer to it yet, just yet. The Orcas will chip away slowly, but they won't get rid of that many tanks just that quickly. We do see a Harvester from Brownpuddle trying to get the scout on the War Factories. That is smart. He's still trying to get the scout for the War Factories. I'm sure AOD's screaming at him to get the scout on the War Factories right now. We can have a look at AOD's vision just a minute. He's dealing with these tanks. Brownpuddle's just got the vision on the War Factories. But unfortunately the tanks are on his helipads right now, and that is big trouble for AOD. Criticalmeds has killed a couple of the Orcas now. Brownpuddle has took out one of the War Factories. Unfortunately, his Grens aren't close enough to be dealing damage to that War Factory. It was just tickling the floor. Brownpuddle's got a massive amount of Grens in the middle here. Luckily, Bruzer loses all the flamers for barely anything. Rocketmen coming in clutch, getting the power. I've never seen Rocketmen do so much damage. What champs? Do you see more tanks coming out from Criticalmeds? Does need to focus on taking out Brownpuddle. Brownpuddle's out-grenning him at the minute. The Orcas are coming in to help Brownpuddle against those tanks. Med's going to lose one of his refs. There he goes. Bruzer coming in to support Criticalmeds. Do you see the tanks trying to get rid of the only production that Brownpuddle has? And now he's basically got nothing to build from. But he does have money. AOD could send engineers to capture his economy. Criticalmeds has lost his last War Factory and a power plant. It's becoming a very close, nitty-gritty game again. Bruzer opting for a ref block with a Harvester. Very smart use of the Harvester. Obviously in a position where he's probably got too much eco to spend. Shame Brownpuddle doesn't have an engineer. He could probably engineer one of these barracks and build from it. Orca's still chipping away at those tanks. Meds doesn't have many tanks left. He only has 3 or 4 left on the field. So it's all down to Grenadier. Flamer against AOD from now. Do you see Brownpuddle trying to put his Harvesters to use, which is probably the best thing he can do. He can't spend his money, so he might as well put the Harvesters to good use. He's going to try and squish Criticalmeds' infantry. Criticalmeds didn't send a Harvester of his own to help his Grens against some of this stuff. Orca's still dealing some damage. He's going for the Apache. He's trying his best to get it. Now, one idle tank's a bit awkward. He does need to be getting that in the fight. There's a lot of Grens just sat there doing nothing. They are going for the production. They do need to kill the production. It's going to be really close. Ooh, they just about got it. AOD losing some of his rest now in the bottom. He does only have an aircraft to deal with this stuff. Brownpuddle has sold up. And it looks like AOD's pretty much dead now. He hasn't got nothing to deal with these grenadiers. And that's GG. And it looks like the series is going to go 3-1 to Criticalmeds and Bruzer. I will just update the score. 3-1. There was a lot of stuff that went on in this game that I really liked. The use of Apache to get rid of, obviously, stagnant grenadiers, so another GDI could get through and snipe an MCV. That was interesting. Poor Brownpuddle was dead from the get-go. He only had one production building. AOD did do a number on Bruzer, getting rid of that strip and MCV, so he could not build a strip back. A strip is one of Nod's greatest things. The plethora of units that they have to their disposal is just amazing. So without the strip, Nod become a pretty hard faction to use. But obviously going all in with the Orcas probably wasn't the best idea if tanks could be on the map. But yeah, 3-1. Let's have a look at the scoreboard.
Battle control terminated.
We do see a lot of kills from AOD, considering he did go for more of an Orca style. So he must have got a lot of kills on Flamers and Rocketmen that game. The eco is relatively even between most players. Obviously, you can see them corner spots getting more eco than the ones with actual more Tiberium, which is interesting. Obviously, Brownpuddle got locked on 4F really early, and Bruzer got locked on 3 or 4F really early because they both lost their MCV. So, what a series! Right, thanks for watching, guys. I will just load into the scoreboard and update you guys, and I'll see you later. Thank you. So this brings us to the scoreboard. Let me just quickly explain it to you. Teams do score based on map wins. So they can win a series. Let's say they win a series 3-2. They will have a +1 map aggregate. So as you can see here, we need money. 1-1, lost 1. They scored 4 points in all, but lost 5 maps. So they have a -1 aggregate, but 4 points. So they are at the top, even with a loss. Boats and Joes, 3 points, and they have an aggregate of 3, so they must have won their series 3-0. Hopefully you guys get that. If you don't, let me know in the comments, I can explain it a bit more. But basically, you win points by winning maps, not the series. Rat D, 3 points, but 2 in aggregate, so they obviously lost a map. Team with 2 points, -1. And then we have Baron Samedi down there bottom for now, 0 points with -3 aggregate. They must have lost all their maps in that series, but only 1 loss. But everything's to play for still. Each team does have to play every other team once. That is 8 games, and plenty of time to catch up. I do look forward to some more games, honestly. But that's it for now, guys. I will see you later. Thank you for hanging around, and I'll see you in the next cast. Goodbye.